This is a text entitled Yoga Body. It's written by a fellow named Mark Singleton. Now, this is the published book version of his PhD, his doctoral thesis, where he researched yoga. And it turned into this book, his doctoral thesis. I think it was at Cambridge, but I'm not sure exactly. Anyway, this is from the back cover, and then I'm going to read you a little bit from the front cover. And I recommend this book. It's nicely done. Yoga is so prevalent in the modern world, practiced by pop stars, taught in schools, and offered in yoga centers, health clubs, and even shopping malls, that we can take its presence and its meaning for granted. That's the center of the bell curve. But how did the current yoga boom happen? And is it really rooted in ancient Indian practices, as many of its adherents claim? In this groundbreaking book, Mark Singleton questions commonly held beliefs about the nature and origin of postural yoga, asana, and suggests a radically new way of understanding the meaning of yoga as it is practiced by millions of people across the world today. Now, I understand the choice of words that a copywriter writes, and the fact that he put this together in a book, and it's very well done, is maybe, what was the phrase? Radically new. That may be true, but the underlying concept itself is not radically new at all. Singleton shows that, contrary to popular belief, there is no evidence in the Indian tradition for the kind of health and fitness-oriented asana practice that dominates the global yoga scene of the 21st century. Just didn't exist. Singleton's surprising and surely controversial thesis is that yoga, as popularly practiced today, owes a greater debt to modern Indian nationalism, and even more surprisingly, to the spiritual aspiration of European bodybuilding and early 20th century women's gymnastic movements of Europe and America than it does to any ancient Indian yoga tradition. This discovery enables Singleton to explain, as no one has done before, how the most prevalent forms of postural yoga today, like Ashtanga, Bikram, and Hatha yoga, came to be hugely popular phenomena they are. And from the first page of the introduction, Singleton writes, "This book investigates the rise to prominence of asana, posture, in modern transnational yoga. Today, yoga is virtually synonymous in the West with the practice of asana, and postural yoga classes can be found in great number in virtually every city in the Western world, as well as increasingly in the Middle East, Asia, South and Central America, and Australia. Health club types of yoga are even seeing renewed popularity among affluent urban populations in India." This book was published in 2010, so it's fairly recent, and this is, of course, still happening. While exact practitioner statistics are hard to come by, it is clear that postural yoga is booming, and here he uses the term postural yoga. Since the 1990s, yoga has become a multi-million-dollar business, and high-profile legal battles have even been fought over who owns asana. It's actually now billions, not millions. Styles, sequences, and postures themselves have been franchised, copyrighted, and patented by individuals, companies, and government. And yoga postures are used to sell a wide range of products, from mobile phones to yogurt. In 2008, it was estimated that the U.S. yoga practitioners were spending $5.7 billion on yoga classes, vacations, and products per year, a figure approximately equal to half the gross domestic product of the country Nepal. However, in spite of immense popularity of postural yoga worldwide, there is little or no evidence that asana, accepting certain seated postures of meditation, has ever been the primary aspect of any Indian yoga practice tradition, including the medieval body-oriented Hatha Yoga, in spite of the self-authenticating claims of many modern yoga schools. The primacy of asana performance in transnational yoga today is a new phenomenon that has no parallel in pre-modern times. Now, I can only share with you a little bit out of this book, but the whole book, he does a beautiful job in here, and he has great respect for what's being done in postural yoga. He's not a person being negative that's saying we should not do that and it's all wrong. Mark Singleton has great respect for all of that and has done a lot of it himself. He's a practitioner. So the thing, when you put this on the back cover and this is the first page of the introduction, it tells you something. But he has been very careful himself out in public when he's spoken on this or written on this to try to explain that please don't take the whole of what I'm saying to be what's in these parts here. It's the history. It's giving us some history of what's going on. And it's fairly recent, 2010, and he did a really, really good job of putting this together. So I highly recommend it to you. It's called the Yoga Body, and I'm sorry, not the, it's called simply Yoga Body, the Origins of Modern Posture Practice. Okay?